PS5 has been, you know, not really worth the purchase of a whole console, I wouldn't say, except for Returnal. This game is absolutely phenomenal. It's awesome. It's 10 out of 10. I loved it. I played it for well over 100 hours, I think. And it has been, it's one of the, like, I recommend this game to people all the time, right? And now, why are we talking about it, though? Today, essentially the sequel to Returnal came out today, by Housemarque, and that is Saros. I'm pretty excited to jump into it. I think we just jump into it. I'm not doing any preamble today. We're just gaming today. How about that? So, oh, and by the way, you might have noticed that it didn't take an hour to wait for the install. That's because for once in my life, I remembered when you insert a PS5 game, it takes an hour for it to install before you can actually play it. So today, I got up, I went to, where's my, oh man, I left my coffee over there and Mia's already in like maximum cuddle mode. Today, I got up, I went to Target, I picked up the game, I came home, I put the game into the console, and then I took a shower and I got ready for the stream while it installed. The thing is, I like to crack the case though. Like, I really like to have it be on stream where we break the seal, open the case, we see the disc, we put the disc into the system. I like including that in the stream, but it's just not worth then having to wait an hour for the game to install. Hang on, I need my coffee. Oh, okay. But all right, let's go. All this I think is gonna be fine. I'm actually like I am not a oh, they want me to hold X for some reason. Automatically will suspend. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm not much of a subtitles guy. I generally dislike subtitles. I think that they are whatchamacallit? Oh shit, I'm not paying attention. I think subtitles are usually distracting. Like, it takes brain power for me to ignore them if I want to not read them, or I'm not watching the action of the cutscene because I'm reading the subtitles, right? Even though I can hear them. It's a lose-lose situation. So I generally don't do subtitles, but in a stream setting, always subtitles. Because, like, I don't know what your guys' volume situation is. Also, I might be talking over the cutscenes and stuff, and people want subtitles, you know.
I did what I had to do. It wasn't my fault.
Even if they are microscopic, but hey, that was an option. And I kept them small.
The sun is forever.
Yeah, wait, why is this 30 frames per second? Hello? Was I waiting for this game? Yeah. This was kind of my #1 anticipated game. Before, you know, until today. I gotta say, though, that, I feel like there's kind of a phenomenon where if I look forward to a game for a long time, okay, now it feels 60. Only the cutscene was 30. That was, yeah, the cutscene was 30 FPS, and now we're 60. Okay, that's fine. But anyway, the Oh yeah, dude, look at this shit.
I need you to.
So there's a funny phenomenon where whenever I look forward to a game for a long time, it kind of ends up getting mogged by something else. Like, I looked forward to Mugenics for a long time, for example, but guess what? Slay the Spire 2 came out. I looked forward to Silksong for a long time, but then, like, Mio I thought was better. And so now we've got this game, Saros, and guess what? This game has to compete with Pragmata now. Oh, yeah, dude. We can shoot. Okay, so this reminds me of, there's like the big sphere in Returnal that you can shoot at the start. This is kind of like that. What style of game is this? Returnal was a roguelike third-person shooter. So it was like, there were different rooms that were tiles. And, okay, hold L1. Oh, okay. Is it always L1? That's going to be very confusing, because in Returnal it's circle. And I think it's fine as circle. But then again, in Pragmata, it's L1, so... Hey, maybe that'll be fine.
What you want? What you need?
Returnal was a roguelite. I'm not super interested in the discussing the difference between a roguelike and a roguelite, and here's why. 0% of games are roguelikes, is the reason why. What up, Flex? Like, if we're gonna be picky about what is a roguelite and what is a roguelike, well, guess what? You have to just say roguelite 99.9% of the time then, and I feel like it's just not really even worth it necessarily. But yeah, it's I would say it did have some meta progression. Like folks were asking about like is there RPG elements, and there kind of is, in that, like, when you pick up a weapon, they've got I'm talking about Returnal. When you pick up a weapon, it might have a modifier to it, but you need to, like, get experience with the weapon to unlock the modifier. But then once you do that, it's unlocked forever for future runs, right? That's where, like, the RPG and the roguelite elements come in. Yeah, dude, Caves of Cud is sweet. I've never heard of Adom, but I've watched a bit of Caves of Cud. That game looks very, very interesting. Okay, can we dodge through this? Yes. All right, sweet. Looks like they've kept the character movement speed up nicely in this. Where that was one of the big things about Returnal, is just the way that your character moves so fast. But the big thing about the big draw of Returnal, and what will be this game, I'm sure, is the action combat. The combat is so good. And I guess we're about to see it. So dudes shoot shots at you, and as you can see, enemy shots they're kind of big and kind of slow moving. And so you end up with something of like almost a bullet hell, like as close as okay, R1 is melee, gotcha. Like, this is about as close as, like, a third-person game is going to get to, you know, bullet hell territory. Okay, so this shield is totally new. This isn't something that was in the first game. Bullet ballet. Yeah. All right.
Let nothing stop you.
So we got beams there. And yo, hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. It's high noon here in Minnesota. Still not super warm out though. I mean, We're nearing the end of April, and it's still like 50 degrees outside. Okay, so I'm not sure how strict collecting money is going to be in this game. Also, one of the big things about Returnal is that when enemies die, they drop money, but the money disappears in like 3 seconds. So you really got to be on the move and chasing down your enemies all the time in order to collect it. And so, you know, a lot of my commentary today is sort of just going to be, you know, discussing which design elements of Returnal they kept and which they didn't, you know. Whew. All right. It kind of looks like the auto aim is like extremely generous. Like there's even a trail that's coming out from my character that seems to be like leading to the character that it's auto aiming at. I don't know if I'm exactly interpreting that right, but is it narratively connected? I have no idea yet as far as that goes. Because, yeah, I haven't really looked anything up about the game. I saw the trailer at the Game Awards and was like, oh, shit, Returnal sequel? Buying that. And then, you know, kind of generally the way that I operate is once I'm sold on a game, right, once I've been convinced to buy a game, I don't pay attention to really anything about it usually anymore after that. That said, though, yeah, the story of Returnal was really neat, though, and it was told in a way that was interesting, you know? Like, there was a lot of, inferences to make and stuff like that, and a lot of symbolism.
You are so close now.
Hold on for me. I will find you.
Alright. Boss time. Vampire Crawlers? Yeah. I played a round of it. It was really fun. And Mrs. Dash has been playing it a bit. Okay, I'm trying to... Oh, I can just hold R to shoot these dudes. Alright, that's fine. Okay, something came across the ground. Gotcha. Now there's shockwaves. Okay. Okay, red bullets can't be dodged through. Gotcha. Okay. So we gotta move perpendicular to those guys. These guys make sure to stay on the move. Watch out for shockwaves. I don't know what is I didn't figure out what was creating the shockwaves, so it was kind of difficult to predict those. Yeah. That was the first time I've died. That dude didn't have a lot of health left though, so I you know, I feel like I should have been able to pull through on that. But you know, I'm still figuring out how this one works. Yeah. You know, I wish we could live in a society where we didn't have to put TM on every single logo. And people would just be expected to, you know, respect trademarks.
Escalation.
It's always bothered me that every single logo in the world needs to get ruined by a little TM. They can't just look cool.
She was there.
Jerome?
All right. We got this business. This guy looks like what do you call it? Did you guys what was that game? The Order 1886? Is that what it was called? Is that this guy?
Sheridan?
That'll probably be a grapple point later in the game. All right. They want me to look at this. Let's look at it for a second. So we got our map. All right. We got this. We've got 0. I think that those are zeros on the left. Yeah. Proficiency 0. That's a wide 0, dude. And then... Oh, yeah. In the game story, did I die? Yeah. So the back of the box, the tagline for the game is "Come Back Stronger." And in the original, in Returnal, it was like a loop, right? It was meant to be like a loop of death. So I imagine they're doing something like that here. But there's another dude? One thing I really liked about Returnal was that there weren't any other people.
It was promised.
I need to know that I just made the right decision.
It's me, boss.
Haven't seen Tarn since he sabotaged our ship. Thought he was dead. Just like you.
Wait, how long?
Since the last time the sun died, man.
Yeah, I remember seeing the Eclipse and then...
This is like third-person Doom. I think it is very similar. The way that like an imp's orb goes at 1
You
speed,
can come out.
and like a Baron throws that type of projectile at you, and then Mancubi shoot like a cone, right? And all these different enemies have like a different attack pattern. But then their projectiles move like slowly through the air, and so you gotta dodge their projectile. Yeah, very old school Doomy for sure.
Tom jumps me.
You left us here. We've lost people. There's no way to get home, and you think
Kayla,
you can just...
he's returned to us. That is what matters.
Time for this later. Kayla, Stack, go make sure Tarn didn't mess with any other equipment. While Jerome and I deal with this.
Do I remember when every protagonist was bald because hair was hard to do? I don't remember that being a thing.
Argent, there's a Sultari signal out there. It's our best shot at finding the colony.
Let's find our people before that signal disappears. I'll follow when you're ready.
I'll find them and make sure everyone's safe.
I feel like I can't really think of a time where it felt like hair was considered to be difficult to do, because hair used to just be like a polygon, right? Or what, you know, a 3D object. Oh, dude, look at this.
Marking approximate location.
This reminds me of the Nexus in Demon Souls, kinda. All right. So I guess there's other people in this one. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go. I don't feel like talking to folks. Let's just run out. All right. Yeah, I'm loving the visual design. So far, which is just no surprise. But oh yeah, look at that shit. I love shit like this, dude. Damn. Oh yeah. Dude, I remember when I first rented Metroid Prime on GameCube, and I looked up at the sky. What up, Lilium? And I looked up at the sky, and there were birds in the sky. And it was kind of difficult to shoot them because they were far away, and you know, your projectile moves kind of slow, and so you had to lead them and stuff. But you could actually shoot the birds in the sky. Oh, man. Yo, I'll talk, no game.
Let's find that signal and bring back some good news.
On it, Jay.
That lot in the passage is all that's left of us. And they're ready to break.
All right, what do we got here? A Carcassonne key. And then do we use that here? And yo, Martin. Oh, I'm doing very well. Wanting to play Ratchet and Clank? Oh yeah, dude. The PS2 Ratchet games are so good. All right, press down to scan the environment. Have you noticed that every game now has a environment scan thing? And honestly, like, look, I got something to say about environment scanning. I think the less environment scanning, the better. It's something that actually drove me crazy about Death Stranding, was how it's like, Death Stranding is just, while you're playing that game, you're just constantly having to tap this fucking
Jay,
scan button.
Do we know anything about this civilization yet?
Whatever it was, it's a graveyard.
I'd
now.
rather not have to see it and look at it
said there
for
was nothing.
100 hours.
Focus on the rescue, mate.
You notice every new game feels the same, especially open world ones. I think that that's becoming outdated. Maybe is it? Like, if you had asked me that 10 years ago, I would have said yes, absolutely. I am so tired of Ubisoft open world games. But I feel like Breath of the Wild really shook shit up.
Unknown power signature detected.
And then we had like Elden Ring, you know, Elden Ring kind of continued the shake up a little bit. But then honestly, I don't really play a lot of open world games though. So you might still be right, and I just don't really know what I'm talking about. Because I don't play enough open world games. But I've heard that like Crimson Desert gets really excellent as far as its open world goes as well, with like how much freedom you have and how many just like interactions with things and with mechanics there are for you to like figure out and stuff. Oh, is this my grapple hook? Hopefully.
Integrated. Open the path.
Power weapon. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we've got... So this game uses like the GameCube style adaptive triggers, where if you press L2, it only goes down a tiny bit for you to start aiming like this. So it's like this weapon seems to have... We seem to have 3 different modes of attacking. If I just hit R2, we got burst fire. But then if I hold L2 down to the click, not past it, now we get like a big charge. And then now if I hold L2 past the click, this is what we just unlocked. So I wonder how often I can use that. Okay, I can't use it again yet. Man, that burst fire seems really bad. Just because the recoil is out of control on it. So Returnal also had a really fun mechanic called, oh, we're doing great, Zekiel. It had a really fun mechanic called Adrenaline, where as you defeated enemies, you would build up adrenaline.
You really don't remember.
And if you ever got hit, your adrenaline would reset to 0. So you were encouraged to keep defeating enemies without taking damage. So what did adrenaline do for you? It, at first, it made the active reload easier. As you can see, when we reload here, boom, there's that spot to like active reload, right? It made that easier. And then it would also like increase the amount of money that you got. It made your melee stronger. It made it so that when you shot your regular weapon, you would also shoot homing missiles out just on top of it, which was really good. So stuff like that. It was a very fun system. I hope it's in this game too. Or that they replaced it with something equally fun. Integrity. +5. Resilience. It definitely feels like the collection of money off of enemies is less strict in this one. Which kind of makes me, I immediately wonder what the design implication of that is. Because in Returnal, it kind of felt like they had a real arcade game mentality with their design in that game, right? Where it's like the action was very fast-paced, and you had to be chasing enemies around in order to collect the money, and that kind of stuff. And everything was very fast-paced in that game. The fact that the money doesn't disappear in this one makes me think it seems like they're going for something that's ultimately going to be a little slower paced, as far as the exploration goes, maybe. +5 command and power, huh? So I wonder if we can get, like, an idea of what these things are right away. Resilience, command, and drive. I mean, that kind of looks like defense, attack, agility, as far as just the symbols go. I'm covering part of it, though. Oh, yeah, here, let me do something here. I'll bring myself up like that, and then maybe we'll go down a little bit here. There we go. So now if I go in here, and over here, there you go. Now you can see drive as the third stat here. So the funny thing about Returnal also is I almost 100%ed the game. Like, basically the only thing I didn't do was that when you defeated enemies in that game, you would build up a research meter on them. And when you maxed out the research meter, it would unlock like a paragraph of text. And I think if you did I think all of the different enemies, or sorry, all of the different paragraphs of text, I imagine eventually would put together into like a script that would probably be something story related. But I'm telling you, I played that game for well over 100 hours, and I got the full script unlocked for almost every single character, or sorry, almost every single enemy and item except for like 2 of them. But the enemy that I didn't have unlocked, or that I didn't have filled out, it was like, I think I had to defeat like 20 of them. And after playing the game for over 100 hours, I had only seen like 7 of them. And so I was like, fuck this. So that was the thing I never did in the game, was just farm out runs and runs and runs, hoping that this one enemy type would spawn, and most runs it didn't.
It knows me. Soon, they will come.
Is this going to increase my drive? Oh no, we need a key for this. I see. That's why it's... I really like the look of this, by the way. This looks like it's got some dinosaur DNA in it, you know? Some amber. And then proficiency, so what it... so we'll figure out if it's the same in this game, but what it did in the first game is... every weapon that drops has a proficiency rating, and your proficiency would go up, like experience, like leveling up, and every weapon that... Oh, and proficiency on a weapon is its base attack power, basically. And so if your proficiency goes up, what that would do is it would make it so that every weapon that dropped would be minimum your proficiency. Alright, there we go. +5 drive. Yo, DBZ. Hope you're doing good. Okay, let me just look at this for a second. Okay, they're traveling up. And then they... Okay, so money that you don't... Money that you don't pick up does disappear if you don't grab it soon enough. Gotcha. It's definitely more forgiving than Returnal was, though. There was one item in, like, it's funny the way that, like, you know, you might prioritize different, like, upgrades in roguelike games, you know, where, you know, you've got your basic stuff, like your attack power, your defense power, right, and that kind of thing. Dude, in Returnal, any artifact that increased the amount of time that money stuck around before it disappeared, or increased your pickup radius, that was like instant buy for me, or you know, those were my favorite things to find.
Is this ours? Echelon 4 gear.
Confirmed. Vandalism locked.
Oh yeah, and the money ones were they were called obolites in the first game. Crimson Desert, they fixed a major complaint for the game. 2 characters couldn't engage with major puzzle mechanics, and they added the ability to do it in the last patch. Oh, gotcha. So 2 characters. I didn't actually notice, yeah, I haven't played enough of that one specifically to even really know what that means. Like party members? So yeah, command does say power.
Such a small thing. Just a little cut in the right place and boom, no more ship. I fell for them. I really did.
Now, one thing that I will tell you guys, as far as me as a video game player goes,
But I had to do it.
is like there's almost no way that I'm actually going to listen to an audio log. And if I find a block of text on like a piece of paper, there's no way I'm reading it. I just don't do that. To me, like and this is why the Souls games are so good for me. Like I realize that ever since the year 2011, all video gamers ever do is compare everything to Dark Souls and why Dark Souls is better. But here's why. Story, for me, the way that I like to absorb story in games is look how cool this building looks. And I just think about the world that created this structure. You know what I mean? And that's the way that I engage with the story in games. Is I just look around and I go like, damn, cool, you know? And I'm absorbing the world through the world. You know what I mean? And so then if you are going to get me to read some text, though, the perfect way to do it is the way that Dark Souls does it, where it's like you get an item, right? You get an item, and this item is something that has gameplay significance. Let's say it cures your poison. Let's say it's a piece of armor, right? And you get all this information about it. What does it look like? What is it called? What does it do? And where did you find it, right? All of this is information that is context, so that then when there is a 2-sentence little blurb of story information at the bottom that says something about the world, you have all of this context to attach that to. It's like 2 sentences, and boom, it's attached to all of this context. And so that's great. But in every other game, when I'm running around and there's just like a piece of paper on the ground and the piece of paper has 3 paragraphs of text on it that comes up, I'm not reading it. I'm sorry, I'm not going to read it. Now, Flex brings up a good point, though, which is that I do love Resident Evil, you know. Blueprints, Resident Evil, all right. Look, some games do it right. Some games put you in the right mindset to read a block of text. And Blueprints and Resident Evil are definitely 2 examples of that. Look at this fucking thing, dude.
Eyes up, we've got trouble.
Hell yeah.
Now you see the kind of shit I've been dealing with. Best we avoid that thing.
Man, so I just played through Dead Space. Is this an Eldritch horror game? Returnal definitely was. Returnal was like big time, like tentacle monsters and stuff. Ooh, purple. Halcyon. Oh, is this gonna be like Ether in the first game? So I just played through Dead Space, and first of all, loved it. 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. However, I gotta say though, one thing that OG, one thing that kind of drove me nuts about it though, was that the entire game, you had bitches in your ear. Isaac, you gotta turn on we're gonna get hit by an asteroid, but our defense systems are down. You gotta go turn on the reactor, you know? And then like every single step of the way, you got fucking, Isaac, you're doing a great job. But now there's an anomaly in this other room. Go, you know, and I just wish I was alone. Like, is it so difficult for horror game creators to realize that people enjoy being isolated? The people enjoy the atmosphere of isolation. You know, it's another game where you are isolated the entire time? Returnal! So it's kind of driving me nuts that there's a bunch of people yakking at me in this game so far, but hey, maybe they'll all die soon.
Soltari weapon detected. Soltari assault rifle. High-speed auto fire.
This was Tarn's favorite.
Oh, yeah, baby. All right. So, we've got shooting. We've got... Okay, hang on. I got to figure out the difference here. Okay. Oh, they locked me out. I had to go. I just wanted to collect the money from the dudes. There's more I wanted to do. I wanted to look. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So we've got shooty shots. And then we've got... we've got like that type of thing. Gotcha. Project Hail Mary. I have never heard of that. No. Serious Sam. I've never played Serious Sam.
But the ground keeps shifting each time I go back out.
What are you talking about?
Resistance I never played either, even though I was a pretty big Insomniac fan. You know, just a moment ago we were talking about Ratchet and Clank and how much I enjoyed the Ratchet and Clank games. For some reason, it's actually kind of wild. I was a huge PlayStation 3 fan, big PS3 fan, and I loved the Ratchet and Clank games. However, I never played Resistance, even though they were PS3 exclusives made by Insomniac, and I never even played the Ratchet and Clank games that were on PS3 either. Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time. Never played either of those. Okay, let's... So far, none of the enemies, we really have to do anything besides just strafe left and right while we shoot them. But, you know, I'm sure that'll change. Like, Returnal had these enemies early on that were really cool, where, like, if they had line of sight with you for too long, they would laser you instantly. And so you had to either shoot them before they charged up all the way, or break line of sight with them. And that was really cool. What's the first game I ever played? So I've been playing games for longer than I remember. So I can't actually tell you what the first game I played was for sure. But what I can tell you is that my first memories of gaming were having an NES and having Mario 1, 2, and 3, Battletoads, Afterburner, and some Batman game, Batman 2 Return of the Joker or something like that. So yeah, we had like the 3 Mario games. We had some kind of Batman game, we had Battletoads. And we had I remember Afterburner big time also. Afterburner is why I still invert my y-axis. I'm sure. I mean, it's not that game alone. Games used to just invert your y-axis without even asking you. Still have NES? Oh yeah, dude, me too. I've got my right over here. I've got my CRT, and then I've got my NES. Over there is the Famicom Disk System. You know, we got our Super Nintendo, Super Famicom. We got our N64 GameCube, you know. Oh yeah, dude. Oh, whoops. So yeah, you know. Think yours was Zelda? Yeah, I didn't play Zelda until a little bit later. My brother had Zelda when we were a bit older. And I played it a little bit, but when I was younger, I couldn't get into Zelda because I would just get lost. I would just wander around, not know where to go or where I could get to, and then I would turn it off, and then I wouldn't play it again for a year, you know? It wasn't until I was like 20-something, like 24 or so. My brother and I actually said, like, he hadn't ever played through original Zelda either. And we were like, you know what? We're gonna sit down, one of us plays, the other one draws a map. And we're gonna draw a map on grid paper, and we're gonna beat this fucking game. And we did. And it was like one of my favorite playthroughs of a game ever. Just because, yeah, it was so great to just discover everything about the game that way, you know? All right, here we go. So we've got tactical rifle, and then, but we could swap it for smart rifle, but the proficiency is lower on it. My habit origin story? Oh, totally. Like that's the thing is like that playthrough is what taught me what video games are about, you know? Because ever since then, I've had a big MO. That's been my MO, right? Of like when we play an old game, you don't look up anything about it. You go in blind. You have a grid paper notebook next to you and you write things down. You draw maps, you write things down. That's how you play games, you know? Zelda 2 was even more fun than Zelda 1.
Warning. Extreme threat detected.
Extreme threat. Oh, hello. What's this thing? Ah, we've got an elite. Okay, I thought R1 was dodge instead of L1 for some reason. Okay, got it, got it. That's probably a... Yep. Got him. Okay. Played Zelda 1 a couple years ago as your first Zelda game to completion, and we're surprised how decent it is still. Oh yeah, dude, it's such a good game. And yeah, Zelda 2 is a lot harder. Like both in its puzzles and in just its general gameplay, and I love it for that, you know. Zelda 1 is pretty tough still though, like Dungeon 6 particularly. I thought Dungeon 6 with all the whiz robes is like super hard. But you know, then I found out that you can get the magic sword before you go there, and that makes it a lot easier. Oh, we've got Baby Dash in her cute little outfit for today. We got some company coming over, so she's dressed up. Are we gonna show off her cute outfit? Oh yeah, she kind of looks like Eris in this outfit actually. Unironically, she's got long skirt dress with like a little red jacket over it, dude. This is Eris outfit, totally. Oh, she's got the hiccups. Hang on, you guys got to hear these hiccups. Give me another one. Did you hear that? She's got the hiccups again. Oh my gosh. Hi. Don't worry, you're allowed to watch this game. This game's teen. It's rated T for teen, which means there's no minimum. You can see T for teen games right away. That's fine. I mean, she's 13 days old at this point, maybe, almost. 12 days old? Uh-oh, you gotta wait for tomorrow. Are you guys... I mean, you can definitely still see the hiccups. Well, all right. She's looking very cute, all dressed up. All righty. Oh. I'll be careful to...
The socks are just gonna come
Yeah, keep these socks on her. Oh, it's coming off. All right. There we go. Oh, yeah, big sphere. Yo, arcade amateur, dash modern, that's right. There was a, it's driving me nuts. I can't remember his name. There was a Twitch streamer that I watched a bunch for a while. His name was something Loot. Anyway, he would always call me Dash Recent because, like, at the time I was playing a lot of recent games, and now I still am. Yo, they brought the sphere back. And actually, does this game have adrenaline? Because look, when I shoot, there's a second streamer that comes out. Maybe that's just this weapon.
What is this place? Is this some sort of temple?
Did I do the Lion King hold? I mean, I've held her out in front of me, if that's what you mean.
Was that them? The ancients?
Biological evidence required.
Alright. The ancients. Okay, here we go. See, here's some story presentation that I'm into.
Context unknown.
Just give me some pictures to be like, whoa, and then I'll just kind of think about it. Everything, the game shelf. Nice, nice. I don't know what this little bar is underneath my my ammo quite yet, but I guess we'll find out. I love framing like this, you know. What if her first word is Sonic? Oh boy. We'll have to send her to, what's that Nintendo, like Disney World for Nintendo? Isn't there a thing that's like that nowadays? We'll have to send her there, and she's not allowed to come back until, until she's re-educated. Ooh, okay, prominence. So this is the alt fire, the big alt fire. Got it.
Give me a scan.
Unknown technology. Leucinite composite constructed centuries ago.
Alright. New ability, perhaps? Why are the cutscenes 30 FPS, dude? It's so jarring. They might even be 24, like, to be real cinematic.
Glorious.
Jay, I think I messed up.
Alright. You need a White Castle order from me? Oh, man, White Castle is hard now because they make me order it with no mustard and with cheese. So, like, here's the deal. Here's what I'll tell you is I used to just get the chicken sandwich slider at it was the number 4, I think, at White Castle. 2 chicken sandwich sliders meal. However, nowadays, they stopped putting cheese on it, and they started putting honey mustard on it, or not honey mustard, I don't think. whatever kind of thing it is. Dijon mustard, maybe. Maybe it is honey mustard. I don't fucking know. But point is, so now I need to go, I want the 2 chicken slider meal, but with no mustard and with cheese. I want you to just make it like you used to make it. Except even then, it's not like they used to make it. They got shitty. The chicken breast sliders at White Castle used to be pretty good. Nowadays, though, it's like they, I feel like it's a lower quality. I feel like they use a lower quality chicken now. And they like over fry it to where the outside is like super darkened and way greasier tasting. I don't know. I think they basically ruined them. They went down from like one of my favorite fast food meals to like barely acceptable.
Abnormal energy surge.
But it is still acceptable, I'd say. Oh, okay, that's what the meter is. It's charging that up, and then I just wasted it. But yeah. That is my order. Is that I want the double or the chicken sandwich slider, but with no mustard and with cheese. And hopefully enough motherfuckers are ordering that they realize that they need to just reverse the change.
Biomass detected.
Right. Because if every single customer now is like customizing it back to how it used to be, then maybe they'll be like, oh shit. Maybe we should stop. But nah, I don't think that's gonna happen. In fact, what I'm guessing is actually the case is that most people just like the mustard. All right. Firing while stationary deals reduced damage. Bro, I never fire while stationary, so that's fine. But now I wonder if the malfunctions. So the first game had malfunctions like that,
Bloody Eclipse pissed off the entire world.
where you could clear it by doing some kind of objective.
Nothing I can't handle. But
I
things
didn't
are
see an
heated.
objective to do on this one. You know, I haven't been to Taco Bell since they got rid of the double-decker taco. And people keep telling me that they brought it back. Hostiles deal extra damage from successive hits? Okay, what's R3? Okay, gotcha. What state am I in? I'm in Minnesota. I keep thinking R1 is dodge. I was fine with circle being dodge in the first game. I wonder what circle is going to be used for that's so important that they had to... Like, maybe people thought it was annoying that, like, X and circle are both face buttons. So if you want to jump and dodge, they're both done with your thumb. But, like, that's just video games, bro. Sometimes you gotta press more than one face button at once. I mean, fucking... Not to catch my ass playing Mega Man X, where you need to be holding Y. You need to be holding Y to keep a charge, but then still hit the A button that is across from Y in order to do a dash, and then into B to jump, so you can be dash jumping while you're keeping a charge on. Like, bro, I come from a generation of gamers that are used to that kind of shit. But nowadays, oh no, we gotta put the dash button on L1. Because it's objectively bad game design to make me press two face buttons at the same time. Alright, alright. Anyway, I kind of got lost in this little area. I don't know where I'm going. You can also double tap to dash. Yeah, but I don't think you can do that off of a wall, though. Right? Because that's the real tech, is when you learn to dash jump off the wall. Collect all this shit. Whoa! Okay, this is getting a little out of hand. I can't tell if more dudes are spawning or if these guys are creating more dudes. I feel like that guy was creating more dudes. It was drinking out of the water hose that made us tough, in addition to NES games. Oh, yeah. Dude, I don't know what it was. Do you guys relate to this? Hose water tasted particularly good. I don't know if it was the minerals in the hose, or maybe it was just the fact that if you were playing outside, then you were just really thirsty, and so, you know, water was just extra good. But water out of the hose was always extra delicious. Getting hit with corrupted projectiles causes corruption to build up, and it diminishes the max integrity of your armor. Ah. It was always super cold, too. Yeah, that's right. Increased dash cooldown? That's probably fine since I don't dash very much. I wonder how much it increases it by, though. I don't know if I want to just sit here and, like, max out on corruptions. Okay. Where the hell am I? And have I been down there? It looks like we want to go this way first. Never mind, we got switched back. Oh, okay. Was my order too complicated? They're like, oh man, we don't want to deal with him. We don't want to deal with him having some kind of special order. Didn't have any hose, it just came out of the wall. Are you talking about just like drinking straight from the spigot? Spigot is one of those words that feels like I'm gonna get in trouble for saying, you know? There's a lot of words like that, and I'm not talking about a word like moist. Moist, I don't feel like is one of these words. But there are certain words that feel forbidden, you know? Even though they're not. And spigot is one of them. I feel like I'm gonna get banned for saying it. But no, it's just a normal word. The biggest word as far as that goes is slit. Dude, slit sounds like a extremely vulgar word to me. Ah. I tried to give him the melee. All right. Sounds good, drawing sleeping. No, see, that's what I'm saying. See, that guy was offended by slit. I got, just like I said, I got in trouble. All right, where are we going? Do we need a key for this? Do I have a key? I do. Increase dash cooldown again? Man, can I just get an artifact that powers me up without corrupting me? I'm missing quite a bit of my my max integrity at this point. Yo, Red Tails. Welcome, welcome. Whoa! Oh! And yeah, as I was saying earlier, right, the game is a little doomy in the sense that, like, yeah, it's very fast-paced. Run, jump, shoot, and avoid relatively slow-moving projectiles. Which is all very doomy things. Oh, hello. Okay, so we gotta punch you to get rid of the shield. Then I'll give you the alt fire. Then I'm almost dead. Bro, this guy's got way too much HP for me to deal. Oh, I'm for sure dead here. I need a grappling hook. I can see these things that are obviously going to be grapple points at some point later, but they're not yet. And it's fucking me up. Okay, okay. Now you need to get meleeed again. Ah, I got hit by the shockwave. All right, we're back.
How am I here again?
No data for the past 1.3 hours.
1.3 hours. That is not quite how long that run was. I ain't reading all that. But all right. We've got something of a hub here. Now, the thing is, at some point, if I get caught up in the story enough, well, then we'll go back and we'll start reading some stuff, you know? They hear that Mind's Eye released a DLC based on the assertion that the game was poorly received due to sabotage? Do you mean that was like... Okay, sorry. Do you mean that the DLC, the story of the DLC was about that? Or do you mean that, like, they released that because they thought that it... Okay, that was, like, the story of it. Huh. No, I did not hear that. I'm very surprised to hear that they continued to work on that game. It's like half an hour long. Oh man, that game, dude. We really are back in like the 360 era as far as like a half hour DLC kind of thing goes. Okay. Am I supposed to talk to you?
It's good to have you back, Arjun. Thought we'd lost you too.
I can't believe so many are gone.
They didn't all die. Some of them changed.
Changed? What happened to them?
It was different for each of them. But Alab and Beers, they were so cruel. It was a mercy when they left.
Sorry, I was just thinking about Mind's Eye while that guy was talking, but you know, I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Okay, I've got core functions online, but without access to a Soltari network, our primary unit is a shadow of what it should be.
Not such a bad thing. We need help, not corporate oversight.
Oh, it'll still have plenty to say. You know what these things are like.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, Enforcer loadout protocols are good to go.
At last. Over to you, Arjun.
All right. Let's have it, Primary.
Interface for loadout calibration, Enforcer Devraj.
Okay, so here's gonna be our level up system. So we got 1569 Lucenite. To unlock alterations, these are armor matrix nodes, which permanently upgrade your abilities. So yeah, there we go. I like the way that Returnal did progression. I guess we'll see if I'm gonna like this system as well. So what's this one? Drop Lucenite stays on the ground for longer before disappearing? Yeah, okay, I mean, hey, you know. Just like, what did I tell you guys my favorite upgrades are? It's kind of a funny thing because I feel like resources disappearing quickly and you having to chase them down is an inconvenience, right? But that's the thing, is that like things that are inconvenient are often engaging and immersive, right? But that said though, once I'm engaged and once I'm immersed, now I'm looking for an upgrade that gets rid of the inconvenience, you know what I mean? And sort of gets rid of like that extra mechanic. And I think that it's a really interesting game design. Just what's the word? Paradigm or something, where it's like games that start out with something that is very low quality of life. They start out with something that's basically an inconvenience, and then later in the game you unlock something that gets rid of the inconvenience. And it feels good, like it's a good thing, even though it starts out as something inconvenient. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of an example that's not just the Lord Vessel from Dark Souls, but the Lord Vessel from Dark Souls is a perfect example. But I feel like a lot of games kind of have you know, this type of thing. Yeah, like Gathering Swarm from Hollow Knight. Exactly, right? Like, it's an inconvenience that you have to collect the money. But if you spend one charm notch, now you don't have to. But, like, the fact that you have to do that, though, is good. The fact that you have to be making a decision to use up a resource and equip a charm that you got in-game and have that be part of your loadout and part of your identity in playing the game in order to do this thing for you is a good thing, right? It makes you appreciate the suck-up more. It makes you appreciate just the... I don't know. I think it's a good thing, right? But it's weird because it's all based on the idea that they decided not to just have that be how it works in the first place, which would have been more convenient. And I guess if you want to abstract it even more, and we really want to get philosophical, is that that's what difficulty is. That's just what game difficulty is, right? It would be convenient if you never died in any game ever. But you know, it's more engaging and immersive to have a challenge, to have to, you know, to have to actually pay enough attention to overcome the challenge that you're being given. And then as the game goes on, well, that is then kind of an interesting thing, though, the way that games sort of, there's two different styles of difficulty curves, right? There's games that get more difficult as they go, but then there are games that do kind of more what got us on this topic, which is like games where you level up and you unlock rewards, and they essentially get easier as they go. You know what I mean? Like a lot of Metroidvanias kind of feel this way. Maybe not the boss battles, but, I mean, if you look at, like, Super Metroid, for example, right? That's a game that sort of gets easier as you go, because as you get more energy tanks, more missile tanks, more abilities, screw attack, you know, original Metroid, maybe even more than Super Metroid, you know, as you get more energy tanks and you get the screw attack and stuff like that, the game becomes easier as you go. But it feels good, right? Because it's like you've overcome that obstacle. Anyway. Yeah, I think we know how a skill tree works. Okay. Unlocks adrenaline levels! Yeah! Alright. So now we've got adrenaline. That's excellent. And then, so now we can go resilience, command, drive. So this kind of explains what these all do then. Resilience increases maximum integrity. Command increases shield capacity and power weapon usage. So power weapon must be one of the more specific things. Like maybe that's the full click, right? Anyway, and then drive increases Lucenite gain to allow faster proficiency upgrading. Gotcha. Well, yeah, I like that. And then hostiles drop extra. I think I like that. Boom. So let's go all in on that, and then increase proficiency by 1 to gain higher level weapons. So does proficiency not do that while we're playing already? So that costs 300. It would be it's very cheap to just get these two. And then yeah, hit me with this one. Iron Volnir. Thank you for subscribing. And then drive attribute enhancers can be dropped by hostiles. I mean, so I like these things that are like a new mechanic, you know? So yeah, why don't we just go straight over there to that. And then what's this? Halcyon. Unlocking certain powerful alterations requires a rare material called Halcyon. Can be, yeah. So what does this one do? Shield can now trap and draw power from corrupted projectiles. Ah. Well, we really want that. So definitely, like, use the 100, and then we'll use our Halcyon to get that. That's cool. And then, ooh, here we go. So, okay. So the skill tree is going to get... I see. It's going to get a little crazier as we go out. That's good. Adds a second chance on death. Okay, corruption is cleansed. Ooh. Yeah, we just want this immediately. So... I can't quite reach it yet, though, so we'll go there later. So, alright. So that's open primary. Alright. Speak
Your
with
absence
primary.
has been noted, Enforcer Devraj.
I was out there searching for our people.
Attempting recovery of company assets. File amended. Log your findings and deposit acquired resources. Everything on this world is Soltari property.
Sheridan says finding the colonists is my priority.
Soltari regulations supersede Commander Bouchard.
Soltari isn't here. That's why they sent us.
I am primary. I am Soltari.
All right. So now we're a bit powered up, ready to get back out there.
This is different. All of it.
Map data unregistered. Resetting.
We haven't had a better lead than this yet. Make it count, Arjun.
I know I screwed up earlier, but I'll find
Whoa.
them. Trust me.
That's something I need to earn.
Oh, I still have the weapon that I ended the last run with? Or at least the weapon type. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Key, very nice. Yeah. Oh, okay. Alright, so right away we can... Oh! Okay, hang on a second. So, we got this. That's great. Oh, was that like a choice between two things? I didn't realize? Okay, gotcha. Maybe I should have read more closely because it probably said that, but oh well.
So many gone. Tarn, Lena, Beers. There's something wrong with this place.
I was there when Beers walked himself off a cliff. He stared at the sun until he hit the ground. Something's wrong with this world, mate. We need to protect the others from it.
Day 4. Arjun's missing.
I feel, you know, I will say, this dude is kind of the most, like, John Saros video game character you can imagine. I like his outfit, though, is the thing. Like, he himself is just kind of John Saros, but, like, his outfit's pretty cool. Already took damage. I'm very curious what circle and square are going to do since they rebound them to L1 R1. Hey, another key. Love to see that. You like third person in general? You know, one thing that I love, though, third person games need to have a button that switches to first person for you to look around in, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always disappointed when a third person game doesn't have that. Like, I'm playing Pragmata right now, and I'm always wanting to get a closer look at the things. Like, all of the little, like, computer monitors or, like, things like that that are around, I like to go into first person and have, like, a closer look at them, you know? Oh. And it's funny the way that, like, I feel like in older games, I feel like that was always an option. If you think, like, Metal Gear Solid, Ratchet and Clank, Grand Theft Auto. All right. Did I finish the new Metroid? I did. I did finish the new Metroid, and then I immediately started a second playthrough on hard mode. But I didn't finish it because my wife commandeered my Switch 2 to play Animal Crossing on it. And then she was playing... She might have been playing something else on it as well. I did play Resogun, yeah. When the PS4 first came out, and that was like month 1. That was the free PS Plus game. And I played it a ton. I had like a really good score on it for a little while there. But yeah, basically the thing about Metroid Prime 4 is that like I have like a whole video essay's worth of complaints about that game, about all the things I hated about it. However, despite all of that, the core DNA of Metroid Prime is so fun that I, regardless of all my complaints, I played the game obsessively until I beat it, you know? And it was really fun. And I would recommend it. But like, just be warned though, it's gonna piss you off. There's a lot of eye-rolling design decisions in the game that will get you to audibly sigh in your living room while you're playing the game. But despite that, it's really fun. Whoa, I'm dumb. I gotta figure out when to use the shield. Which I think we figured out. I use the shield when there are corrupted projectiles. And I'm not sure if I got this info correctly, but I think corrupted projectiles might be yellow. Oh, I tried to melee him, and I mean, I succeeded in meleeing him, but doing so also got me hit. Okay. So far, and now we're pretty early on, but I will say, so far, I feel like the combat in this one is a little bit less engaging than Returnal. The reasons being that there's not really a weak point element in this game. So here's the deal. In Returnal, you would aim and you would shoot. And then if you fully clicked your aim, you would do your alt fire. So that's 2 modes. You could either hip fire, or you could aim and shoot, or you could alt fire shoot. This one has 3 modes, where hip fire is your basic shoot. Your basic shoot is always hip fire. But when you hit L2, now we are in alt fire mode. And then when you click L2, now we're in 3rd mode, right? The issue I'm finding with this is just that when the first game, enemies had weak points. And so there was a big element of like when you're fighting one of the like elite enemies, when you aim at them, their weak points would show up, and then you would use hitting their weak point to stun them, and then when they were stunned, you could really drill them, you know? And I feel like that little element is not happening, at least not yet. And I'm also I'm not necessarily finding the enemy's AI patterns to be as interesting yet, but that especially is probably me just not knowing yet, you know. I just haven't figured them out yet.
What's right in front of them? A treasure.
Honestly, can I rebind my controls? Like, is there a different mode to make it more like the original game, where dodge is circle and melee is square. Okay, it won't let me reassign circle. Okay, L1, circle. R1, oh no, controller. Reassign R1 to square. Oh, but if it's also shield... Alright, reset, I'll just get used to it.
Proof of technology.
Because since melee is the same button as shield, I imagine shield is going to be a lot more important to be able to aim the camera while I'm doing it.
Bloody Soltari suits.
You think he's alive?
Dunno. Don't care. Earlier, you were gone a long time, Arch. You really don't remember anything?
Nah, just the Eclipse. Then I was back in the
Okay, so it looks like this is a this or that. I can either take this,
holding up all right.
or I can take that. Well, that goes up to 7.
My worries are my own.
So we'll take that. Alright. Integrity augments. Nice, nice. Oh, but now we got this right away. So so this is tactical rifle. And then here we've got smart rifle. They're like the same. Oh, I see. This one's got the extra little seekers. And this one doesn't. Interesting. So, auto target radius. Oh, but they both have that stat. I see. That one has super load. This one has spectral round. I imagine the spectral rounds must be these little seekers.
No sign of Bierce or Lab. I found a camp, presumably Tarn's. He built something here, and
oh yeah, big upgrade to the arm cannon.
Shrine. It's madness. The longer I look at it. God, what did you find out there, Tarn?
I think Lena might still be alive.
I was just telling Bierce I knew she was okay.
Bierce is dead. You told me that.
He was just... nothing, mate.
I think we're... I'm looking forward to Grappling Beam. Man, love the look of this, though. Very good color palette. And then I'm sure the game will have multiple areas also. All right. I loved the mechanic in the first game where health pickups, like there's two different health pickups. There's health pickups that that heal you, and then there's ones that increase your maximum HP. But if you have max HP, then any healing item increases your max HP. Like regular healing items turn into max HP increasing items if your health is full. Which was a very fun mechanic because it made it so that like if you were missing some of your HP, you wouldn't necessarily want to pick up the healing items if you could heal yourself a different way, right? You would find a different way to reach maximum HP, then go back and scoop up the items to then have them increase your max HP instead. I really liked that. Okay, just wasn't moving quick enough there. let's see, just +3 command? By your command. So.
I'm guessing I can't break that.
Yeah, me too.
Confirmed. Extreme kinetic energy required.
So that's also just like the first game. There's some barriers that you can melee, and then some barriers you need a melee upgrade in order to break. So that was always the item in the first game that you would just mega prioritize. If you ever had the opportunity to get the melee upgrade, you had to get it right away, because it would give you access to more areas, which would like always be worth it. What? Oh, okay, big guy, gotcha. Okay, so there was a guy like behind a barrier back there. I can't tell if this guy's behind this barrier or not. Okay. So there were these enemies that got like closed off behind a barrier over here, and I was thinking that they were going to be shooting at me the whole time, but I guess they weren't because they were behind the barrier. Alright, that's funny. Alright. So, now I'm in, okay, melee kills can stagger nearby. Gotcha. This thing looks pretty cool. I am in dire need of as much healing as I can find now. Oh yeah, we also haven't seen like a shop yet. Because, right, the original game also had, like, shops. Oh, and then we missed a side path back here. Oh, that's because of we need a stronger melee. How do you guys say that word, by the way? Because I've heard so many different... I think most people say melee, right? But I've also heard people say melee. Like where you emphasize the second syllable. I've heard people say melee, which is probably not right. But I think, doesn't the announcer for Super Smash Bros. Melee kind of say melee? Super Smash Brothers Melee! I swear he says that. Maybe I'm misremembering that though. I've also heard someone say melee. And I feel like maybe they just, maybe they just, you know, were confused. Okay, so this is this. What about melee? I've not heard melee, which is kind of surprising because there's only... You know, there's one E on the first one, and then there's 2 E's in the second one. So you would expect melee, if anything. But no, I've only heard melee.
How does this thing work?
Insufficient data.
All right, good. I like that. Hey, that was a thing I really liked in Metroid Prime 4 right at the start, was when you were like trying to scan visor things and it just kept saying it didn't know. That was pretty interesting. Yo, Taco. Verdict so far? I mean, I'm so far I'm having a good time. You know, I was saying a moment ago that, like, so far, I don't think that the shooting feels quite as good just because enemies' weak points aren't, like, lighting up like they were in the first one, where you could, like, drill an enemy's weak point to get them to stagger and then hit them while they were staggered, right? That hasn't really been happening, and without that element, you know, I feel like something's missing, but I'm very, very briefly, or I'm not very far in yet. I also don't, yeah, like, I don't know what these are. This looks like a teleporter, if I had to guess. And that must be the boss room. But yeah, so far I'm having a great time. Take fall damage, dude. This particular malfunction in the first game fucked me up so bad. Like, I always thought, oh yeah, I'll take the fall damage one, and I'll just remember, you know, I'll just remember that I have that and be careful. But nah. It would sneak up on me every time. Wait a second, though. If this is the boss, then why would this be the main path? This must just be a challenge room, right? Thought this was going to be a release not related to Returnal, even though the combat is very similar. I expect it to be related. I don't know how related it is. I don't know if it's like literally. I guess I would expect it to be the same universe, but unrelated other than that, you know? Like one of those things where it's like, it's the same universe and it's thematically related, but like, we're not going to be like finding the logs from the first game or anything like that. But that's just my guess, you know. Yeah. We've been sawing some big logs already. And then, atmosphere feels like the first Darksiders. You know what? I never really played it. I remember playing the first Darksiders like one time, but I didn't like get into it. What is this again? Oh yeah, I passed on that because of the fall damage. Yeah, I remember Darksiders was very well received, but people were like, wow, this game is literally just God of War combat in a Zelda dungeon. And it's like, it like, it apes off those two games so hard that it was remarkable. And then don't you even get a portal gun in it? Like, you're like, wow, this is just God of War and Zelda the whole time, and then you get the portal gun? Okay, actually, I did just get the enemy staggered. Okay, got it. When he does that, shield. And he killed me. Okay. I'm learning. So when he gathers yellow energy, you shield. Dude, you know what? I bet Darksiders would be a phenomenal Steam Deck game. I should put that on my Steam Deck list. Right now for Steam Deck, I finally started up Chained Echoes. Oh man, it's good so far.
I need to get back out there.
I am loving Chained Echoes so far. I remember You've been playing the sequel to Shadow of Mordor? Oh yeah, Shadow of War? The orcs talk too much. Shadow of War is the funniest game because do you remember how when that game first came out, it had loot boxes? Do you remember this? Do you know what I'm talking about? When Shadow of War first came out, it's a single player game and it had loot boxes. And at some point, like a year or two after the game came out, they did a huge update to the game that patched the loot boxes out and it rebalanced the entire game to no longer need loot boxes.
Primer is online. Let's get this place in order.
I've uploaded my scans of the architecture. Build out drones will take care of the rest.
So that's a really interesting thing,
Plenty to
where
do.
it's like,
Get Stack to help you with the cargo crates.
that's like an example of a game where you don't want to play the original version and you want to get like, you know, the game that they turned it into later.
Anything yet?
Still searching. But I spotted a winged creature. Nothing like the others.
How could Soltari miss so much?
They only saw profit with the Lucenite extraction.
Yeah, we all know they'll cut a corner to save a buck. But Carcos is a big investment.
Yeah, they definitely threw everything at it. 3 ships are
You know, I have
colonized,
Darksiders for
the mess,
PS3 though. I could just play the
If
PS3
Lucenite's
version.
even half the energy source they say it is, you know how badly it's
But
needed
still though,
back
Steam
home.
Deck is just so
Leave it
good.
to Primary to
And
manage
that's
those
like,
odds.
dude, that generation, 360 PS3 generation games, I feel like are perfect on Steam Deck, you know? Like I was talking about Alan Wake I played through, for the most part. Dead Space I just played through. Like those were so good on Steam Deck. Speaking of Steam Deck, also, how do you guys feel about the Steam controller? Alright, let's get this. Second chance on death. And then, what is this? Dispatch. We don't know what this requires. But then here, less, Lucenite lost on death. Okay, I didn't even realize that you lost stuff. But alright, there we go. We lose less. Looks better than the old Steam controller. Oh yeah, big time. And then I really like the look of the controller. It's just a controller with the trackpads you never use. Yeah, but you use them sometimes, right? Like, there's use cases for them. Not very much, though. I don't use them very much. The thing is, though, the sticks are not Hall Effect, but they are like a... They're like a newer version of Hall Effect that uses less energy or something. So apparently, the battery life on it is Insano style, and the analog sticks have like a newer Hall Effect style. That sounds really cool. I think it looks really great. The only problem with it, and this is the problem that I always have with controllers, is that the A, B, X, Y are in the wrong places. The A, B, X, and Y are in the wrong places, and so if I were to use the Steam controller, I would have to use Steam's built-in, like, use Nintendo layout, and then that can cause some problems. Like, let me give you an example, right? So, for the most part, if you just tick the box on Steam, I never use Stadia or is this. For the most part, if you just tick the box on Steam, use Nintendo controller layout, well then every game will automatically have A, B, X, and Y be correct. Where when they say A, they are referring to the right face button. When they say B, they're referring to the bottom face button. It works great. Unless the game has a visual design that correlates to the buttons, then you run into problems. For example, Pragmata. Pragmata is a game where while you're holding L2 and aiming at an enemy, you need to use the face buttons like a D-pad in order to control the hacking minigame. So X is down, circle is right, triangle is up, right? But the problem is that if you are using the use Nintendo layout on Switch, well then yeah, A is the right face button, but in Pragmata, that moves the cursor down. And so it's like unplayable that way. So what that means ultimately is that most games I use the Nintendo layout, and it's great. It works perfect. A is my confirm button, B is my back button, and they're in the places that I expect them to be, like a Nintendo controller. Awesome. I even physically modified my Steam Deck. I bought off Etsy A, B, X, Y buttons that are in the Nintendo layout so that they match up, right? And that works great most of the time. But when you play a game like Pragmata, you have to use, I have to use a PlayStation controller because I can't use the Nintendo flip. And so if I'm gonna use A, B, X, Y, sorry, if I can't use the Nintendo flip, that means that I can't use ABXY, because I cannot use ABXY in the Dreamcast Xbox layout. So I have to just use a PlayStation controller instead. So ultimately what I'm getting at, right, my whole point here is that if I was to get a Steam controller, I would want it to be my one-stop shop every game for a controller. I would want it to be my daily driver. I play every game on this controller. If I'm I already have a PS5 controller. I already have a Switch controller. So if I'm going to buy a PC controller, I want it to be my main controller for every single game. But if it has the same ABXY problem that Steam Deck has, where I need to use this special flip function in order to get it to work the way that I want it to, well then I'm going to run into the same problem where I need to use a PlayStation controller on half of my games. Does all that make sense? That's how I feel about it. I'd love the Steam Deck or the Steam controller. I think it looks awesome, but I kind of don't want to get a controller that is only going to work for 80% of games, and I just have to use a PlayStation controller for the other 20% anyway. And if I'm already splitting my gameplay between two different controllers, well then I might as well just keep having those two controllers be PlayStation controller and Switch Pro controller, you know? So I guess that's what it all ultimately boils down to, is do I think that the Steam controller looks better than the Switch controller? Well, probably not, because the Switch 2 Pro controller is fantastic. So, stay
focused, Argent. We can't afford to lose you again.
So now, here's the thing though, is if they made a Steam controller that just had unique face buttons that weren't ABXY, or if they made one with PlayStation symbols, then I would just get that one, and then I wouldn't have a problem, you know. Yeah, it's a issue. It's a game to game issue, Nook, exactly. Like every game that I play on Steam Deck, I have to spend some amount of time to figure out how the controls are going to work on it, you know? Or on PC, actually. Every game on PC as well. And all of this just comes down to the fact that I am a Nintendo gamer and not an Xbox gamer. And if you are like me, then PC gaming with a controller is a constant headache, because everyone assumes you're using an Xbox controller and lays out their ABXY according to that. But yeah. So if they made a Steam controller that just had PlayStation glyphs on it, well then I would be totally fine with that. I would probably just get that one, you know. This looks fun. It's great so far, K-Dog. If you haven't played Returnal yet, though, I would recommend just get Returnal and play that, because that game is 10 out of 10. while the jury is, you know, the jury is still out on this one. But hey, you know, if you just, if you are into the, oh, get me this way. Okay, do we want this or do we want this? I think we want this. But yeah, I mean, if you just want to play the exciting new hyped up game, well, yeah, this one's pretty sick so far. Don't like clicking thumbsticks to do anything in a game. For the most, I for the most part agree, especially when you have to click it while you're also using it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of games have you click L3 in order to sprint, and you're going to do that while you have the stick tilted, and that's kind of annoying. Kind of the exception to me, where I like the feeling of clicking the sticks, is when you click them both at the same time to do something. You know what I mean? Like your super, your ult in Destiny, or like the overhack in Pragmata. When it's click both sticks at once, that's fun and it feels good. I like it. You can get with this, or you can get with that. Dude, I just heard that game, that song the other day that's like, put my shit down, flip it, and reverse it. But it was a cover. I heard like a cover of that song the other day. Or maybe the original just has two different singers or something. Or it has two different parts and I didn't know about that. I'll probably get the Steam controller. And you know what part of the reason why is, actually? So, I actually just convinced myself to get a Steam controller just now. Despite it being a little bit of a, despite it being, you know, the same amount of headache as using a Switch controller is. But here's the reason. The Switch controller, the only way to use it wirelessly is to use Bluetooth. And I don't like Bluetooth with controllers. It's they're in general, even though this is Bluetooth right now, I think generally if I can avoid Bluetooth, I'll try to avoid it. And like having to get a Bluetooth receiver and plug that into my computer. Look, I'm just saying, the wireless aspect of the Steam controller sounds really convenient. With the puck. You know what I'm talking about with the puck? No, not... Well... I was gonna say no, it's not Wi-Fi, it's 2.4 gigahertz. But I think 2.4 gigahertz is Wi-Fi, kind of. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is there. Maybe Wi-Fi... Is Wi-Fi, like, specifically the Ethernet standard? And 2.4 gig is just, like, the radio signal? Or I don't know. Look, I don't know what I'm talking about. As a network guy, I should have a more confident answer about that. But I don't. For a long time, you didn't realize the Switch Pro controller were wireless? Really? So, like, it came with a USB, it came with a USB to charge it, and you thought that it was required? That's funny. But yeah, dude, those rotate puzzles were stupid anyway.
They begged me to find it for them. They didn't know that I'd seen it too. That I was ready to tear and rend my way to it. Why one? Why me?
Oh, really interesting thing about the Steam controller, though, that they said. So the Steam controller can detect whether your fingers are around it. So you can map an input using the Steam controller. You can map an input to doing this, right? And at first I was like, that's stupid. When would that ever work? But then they said that one usage of it would be for gyro controls. You can disable gyro when you do this, which solves two problems. It means that if you want to aim up and now you want to aim up further, you can do this, go back to neutral, regrip, aim up further, right? Just like when you lift up a mouse to move it further, like doing this, right? You can do this, which makes perfect sense. And it also means that if you're gonna set down the controller, it doesn't wig out the gyro as you set it down. You know what I mean? Like when you set down a controller and then your character flies all over the place. Nah, because as you go to set it down, it's going to disable the gyro. Hey, that makes sense to me. That's pretty cool. Even though I never really use gyro, I think that that's a neat idea. I'm probably never going to use it though. Like realistically, I feel like having anything be bound to whether your fingers are around the handle is probably only going to confuse me in the end, you know? Like it's just gonna make things not work when I expect them to work. And it's not going to be intuitive to me to think, oh, it's because I took my fingers off of it for a second.
Jay.
Like, I think to myself something like, what could you do with it? You could make it so that if both of your hands are not on it, none of the buttons work. So then if I set my controller down and then it slips off the arm of the chair, right? If I set my controller down and I go to take a drink and my controller slips off,
how it's been for you.
Just like that, it doesn't unpause the game, or it doesn't do a power attack on Solaire while I'm taking a drink, you know? However, what will that practically actually do? It'll make it so that when I am playing a game and I set my controller down and I'm taking a drink, and then it's like something comes up and I'm like, oh, let me just hit this button real quick to clear that while I'm taking a drink, it's not gonna work, and that's gonna frustrate me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So in the end, really, the funny thing about like gyro and this capacitance thing that we're talking about right now is that in the end, if you ever complicate things any further than when I push a button it does something, it just ends up being confusing and frustrating. It's the same shit as like 3D TVs or VR for that example. The thing is, like, you can sell me on how cool a 3D TV is, but at the end of the day, do you really want to complicate the idea of there is a rectangle in front of me that displays a picture? No, I don't want to complicate that. I want my games to be confined to a rectangle that is in front of me in the room and have peripheral vision to things that are outside. I want that. So yeah, basically that's what I'm saying. Is, you know, it's just another one of those things where the people who invented this shit however many years ago, they already kind of figured it out. And then anytime that somebody tries to improve upon it, the improvement requires some kind of complication that's not worth it. Oh, sorry. I was talking too much. I tell you guys, I've told you guys before, there is nothing more embarrassing on this entire website than being on this camera angle and commentating what I'm doing. You guys see playing, you hear sound effects, and I'm like, oh, gotta watch out for this guy. But we're on this camera angle, literally the most embarrassing thing you can do on Twitch.
They expected
I
a dream
might
come true.
I might as well
Look what they
delete my channel after that happened. All right. Resilient. These got to be some kind of jump pad, some kind of bounce pad, because they keep showing up in front of ledges that are too high for me, you know? The biggest fart you've ever heard in your life? Well, okay, here's the thing, is that you're used to hearing it on Popo's stream at 80% speed, which is increasing its length by about 25%. So you're getting a buffed version of it whenever you hear it on his stream. Okay, attribute enhancer drive. Okay, we got a key. What do I use this key on? I mean, there's something to use it on right here. Why not? Oh, right. Dude, I forget that I even have this weapon. The croissant key. That's right. Oh, ho, ho. Is it just me? I know I've been talking about this already, but I feel like we're in an unprecedented golden age of gaming right now. Like, this year alone, we have already had Slay the Spire 2, Mugenics, Crimson Desert, other stuff too. What else? What else just this year? I had them locked and loaded. I think Silk Song was last year, but last year... Oh, yes, Mio. Silk Song reminded me of Mio. Yes, Mio came out this year. Oh, yeah, people are loving Resident Evil 9. Dude, Pragmata. Like... yeah, Vampire Crawlers just came out. Insane number of top quality games have been coming out at just an incredible pace. And yeah, last year we had Silk Song and Expedition 33 and Ender Magnolia, Blueprints. It's been crazy, dude. Path of Exile 2. Yeah, dude, like oh no, I wanted to look at the other stuff. Okay, take me back down. You can take me back down, right? I can probably drop back down. Tactical rifle? 9? Sure, I'll take that. I'm waiting for the weapons to get a little bit more varied. That's another thing about Returnal, that from my memory at least, it feels like... You gotta take Halcyon. From my memory, like I'm feeling like Returnal had a better first impression, maybe, which is that like the weapons felt more varied. But then again, in Returnal, you did get the weapons one at a time, and so maybe we're just not at that level yet, which is surely what the actual thing is that like we're gonna get more varied weapons soon. I feel like the thing is, like I said, I've played over 100 hours of Returnal, maybe over 200 hours of it. And so I only remember what the end game is like. I don't really remember what it's like at the start. When, like, you don't have the grapple yet, you can't go underwater yet, you don't have all the weapons yet. Okay, is this like where the mini-boss is usually? Hey, I just remembered something. Didn't we unlock adrenaline levels? Oh yeah, my adrenaline just went up to 4. Okay, I only just realized that adrenaline, I only just remember that adrenaline is now a mechanic. Let me see what the deal is with it. Adrenaline, here we go. Power boost, infrared boost, melee boost, repair boost. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what those things do. We can guess to some degree, but you know, it would be, oh, dude, okay. Okay. And also, this, by the way, is like the thing I was talking about in Returnal, where, like, additional information needed for further decryption. And then there's the data decryption progress. It's like, as you defeat hostiles, you build up a meter, and then that meter will unlock more paragraphs about them. And then in the first game, the final paragraph that you unlocked for every single hostile, every single weapon, every single item, it would be something completely unrelated to that weapon or hostile or item, and it would just be like a block of story text that had a code at the start and a code at the end. And so those codes, I imagine, are how you string it all together, right? But again, there were a couple monsters that just, like, never spawned, and so I wasn't able to get them fully decrypted. And Skolin, hello, hello. Found me through the Hundo FF7 YouTube video. Yeah, yeah. Glad to have you here. Welcome on in. Nice to meet you. We're playing Saros, the brand new PS5 game that is a sequel to Returnal, which is my favorite PS5 game. Which doesn't say a lot. PS5 is has been a bit of a disappointment, I think, in general, just as far as its game library goes. But Returnal was 10 out of 10. I do like the PS5 controller a lot, yeah. Oh, I hear something behind me. There he is. I dodged a little too early. All right, big guy, let's go. So this guy doesn't even have a stagger meter, I'm noticing. Gave away your 3D dock game Heroes to one of your nieces as a Christmas present. 3 years later, that game is worth a shiny penny. Is it? 3D dock game Heroes? I bought this game only because it was it had FromSoft's name on it. $40. $40 for a complete in-box copy, apparently. Wow, apparently it went up to like 80 during that COVID spike when everything was expensive. Did I play a Rift Apart? Yes, I did play a Rift Apart. And apparently I'm the only person who had this problem, at least from the one other person I talked to who played it. I thought the game was extremely buggy. Like, I had a lot of, like, falling through the world and just other things randomly glitching out, T-posing NPCs and stuff. Like, the game was kind of a buggy mess when I played it. But I talked to someone else and they said that they never had any issues like that, so who knows. Boost adrenaline to max level. Oh yeah, regular Returnal also had items active items you could use. I'm gonna take the max adrenaline here. So right, another thing that max adrenaline did in the first game was it gave you a shield. So this says Power Boost Plus. Yeah, I remember it being kind of boring. I also, I really disliked the remake. The Ratchet and Clank 1 remake that they did for PS4. Oh my god, what a pile of shit that game was. Oh. Uh-oh, I got dudes shooting at me from behind here. I gotta get back to where I can see everything. So yeah, so I just got a permanent drive boost. Okay, so we like need to unlock the skill points that make it so that enemies can drop attribute increasers. All right, Halcyon or upgrade that. Nah, we want the permanent upgrade. But yeah, I remember very little about Rift Apart. All right, here we go. Something looking fancy here. See, bouncing rounds, piercing shot. This has special round, spectral round, extra round. Oh, it looks like it shoots two at once. Interesting. What day is today? It's Nibbler's birthday. What day is today? I mean, it's April 30th. It's the release date of Sorrow for PlayStation 5 Sony Computer Entertainment System. What capture device do I recommend? I'm not sure, because what I use is the Microsoft X Capture 1, which is perfect. It is the best capture card ever. At least it was when I bought it. It is this guy. Oh, yeah. The problem with this capture card, though, so the reason I got it is it has like every input on it, right? It's got D-sub, It's got S-video, it's got RGB, it's got component, it's got HDMI. It's beautiful. However, it's hard to recommend because they don't really make it anymore. And so it's like $350. I looked it up kind of recently. To get this capture card, it's like $350 nowadays, which is way too much for a capture card that doesn't do 4K, you know? It only does 1080p 60. And here's the other thing about it, is I only ever use its HDMI anymore, because for all those other inputs, S-video, component, right, RGB, if I've got any other input type, well, that just goes into the RetroTink now. And then the RetroTink sends HDMI to the capture card. So my recommendation is that you get a cheap, just a cheap, but functional HDMI capture card. And then if you have a plethora of inputs that are going to go into it, get a RetroTink 5X. All right, what do we got? But also, though, if money is not an issue, then you might as well get a RetroTink 4K, because it's got some really sweet features. Even if you're not going to capture in 4K, some of the features of that capture card or of that upscaler are really cool. So I would say consider the RetroTink 4K, just for if the extra features sound interesting to you that it has. But I use the 5X. Do not get the 2X, though. The 2X does not have features that are kind of, like, required. So I'm not really sure what that last thing that I just interacted with does. On Amazon? I think that they do sell on Amazon. But, you know, I would just go to retrotink.com.
I heard Bierce again. So far away.
Take Aether or
but I keep
one of
hearing him.
these. Give me that health bonus. Yeah, it's a brand. All right, man, that looks cool up there, by the way. Woo! Okay, what are you? This looks like I need to grapple hook across it. Yeah, very Dark Souls 3, I see it. Man, remember how good that Ringed City expansion was? Alright, we can get more drive, or we can get that. Let's take more drive. Oh, okay. So now dudes are shooting yellow projectiles out, which I specifically want to, boom, do that. Because that powers me up. It's, okay, it's tough though. But boom, there we go. Okay. I lost a lot of HP, but we got him. Oh, Mia's on the move. What are you thinking, Mia? All right. All right. She's chilling. Need a key for that door. Right. She's calculating how to be as annoying as possible. Oh, man. What's the latest on Magic? Oh, he's just doing great. He's just back to his old self, you know? Oh. Yes, hi, Mia. Yeah, it does seem like everything is generally more... Yeah, so here's what I figured out about, like, when I interacted with that thing, now the Eclipse is noticeable, and it seems like enemies are shooting corrupted bullets now, and that wasn't a thing before. And then also, I'm noticing, like, all of the upgrades that I can get now are coming with corruptions as well, instead of just being straight upgrades. So it's like we've like initiated phase 2 of the area. No, I meant to shield. Because, yeah, the thing that I need to figure out is that the corrupted bullets are actually good for me if I absorb them with the shield. Okay, get rid of the ads. Yeah. All right. All right. That's main path over there. There's a barrier I can't break. Hello? Every time that I try to shield, I tell you, I'm struggling to keep L1 and R1 straight.
Soltari holocache detected.
Okay. So I've got $2,000 dues? I wonder how much I take if I die. Like, how much do I take with me? Because we we unlocked one node that said, you know, we lose less when we die.
It's you. I knew you'd be okay. I knew you'd be here.
Which then also makes me think that there's a way to, like, finish a round without dying, and then we get to keep all of it.
Cash.
Don't worry, still won't hear anyone's concerns.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's so cool, dude.
I guess purpose is good, even if it seems absurd. I worry more about Micah. Sometimes I catch him staring at nothing, into the black. He says he can hear something. I
Boom!
think he's losing it.
Hey, boom!
He's just scared.
I'll find you. That's why I'm here.
Okay. So up there we've got something to find. I'm hoping that on this run I can reach like the actual boss, you know? Halcyon or one of these. We'll take that. I think I've seen the boss door. We just need to find the key. Okay, that's neat. Anything up here first?
Distortion ahead.
Yes.
Unknown technology. Tracing readings from a previous location.
Shortcut. I'll take all the help I can get.
Raise adrenaline or... Dang, look at this thing. So we can reduce our max health, but we get +4 on everything. Let's see how reduced are we talking. That seems like that reduced it by barely anything, and that's a huge all stats up. Nice. All right, boom. And then I think, I can't remember what it was, but some kind of tutorial earlier told me about, oh, and there's the boss key. Told me about something that gets rid of my, I keep wanting to call them malfunctions, because that's what they were called in the first one, but corruptions. I forgot what they said gets rid of that. And yeah, I mean, so the fact that, like, it reduced my max health, but it also gave me 4 resilience, which increases my max health. All right, here we go. All right, I think we're about to fight the first boss.
Signal leads underground. I've found a tunnel leading there.
Careful, Arch. We have no idea what else is down there.
I just need to keep going. I'm close, Jay.
Briefly jams main weapon. How briefly we talking? I'll take it. And then what do we got here? New weapon. Or restore health? I'll take the health restoration. Oh, it's one of these. All right, let's go. Boss time. Man, that looks cool. Why are the cutscenes 30 frames per second, dude? It looks so bad. When the camera pans, it's like... The problem with low frame rate is when the camera sweeps, you just can't see anything. It becomes so choppy and, like, blurry. You might as well just have your eyes closed anytime that the camera is moving. Okay, whoa! Look at that! Okay. Watch this, though. Okay, got it. Shockwaves, you can't shield a shockwave. But watch this. These, boom. 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 Suck those up. Okay, okay, the environment is also, slowing me down a little bit. I don't think I'm doing damage. I feel like I'm supposed to shoot him in his belly when it opens. Oh, I'm probably supposed to shoot these, actually, dummy. Alright, I get it, I get it. Yeah, 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 shoot the big glowing spot. Who'd have thought? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right, so that phase is over, so now we're back to this. Oh. Ah, okay. So the problem there was, oh, right, we have second chance. The problem was I dodged into the grabbies. And, oh, second chance also. I think that's what gets rid of my corruptions also. But, all right, so I dodged into the grabbies, and then the grabbies made it so I couldn't dodge the rest of the attack. So we got to get out of these grabbies here. We got grabbed by the ghoulies. Wait a second. That, like, incredibly messed me up. Wait a second. Wait a second. Why? Oh, no, that's too late. Why didn't my shield work there? Okay, this time, now we gotta... Now I gotta look back further and see on that last yellow attack, why did my shield not help me? Oh, 1 second. Yes? Oh, okay, sure. Okay, I will figure this out in a second, but real quick, I gotta run upstairs for a minute. I'll be right back. Oh yeah, yeah, it's just housemark slop. All right, I will be right back. Oh, okay, okay. My parents are over visiting. But I mean, we saw them yesterday, the day before that. Okay. So,
How long has it been?
let's see what we can do now.
You're goddamn right!
So the yellow shots will corrupt you? Yeah. But if you shield them, they are supposed to... Like, I thought that shielding them is supposed to power me up. Maybe I didn't actually buy that upgrade, though. You know what? That could be. Maybe I saw that upgrade on the tree and didn't buy it.
Please, Sheridan.
And we'll figure that out right now if that's the case.
There's got to be some way to fix it.
Kayla says the engine is beyond repair.
All right. I'm liking it quite a bit, Martin, so far. I mean, my very early thought is that I think I liked Returnal more, but we'll see. You know, this one might overtake it at some point, because we're early on. There's a lot more mechanics to discover still, you know. Okay. Oh no, here we go. Shield can now trap and draw power from corrupted projectiles. That's what I'm talking about. So I do have that. And so then if I look at here, let's just set this up real quick. All right, just grab this window capture here. Let's see if, like, maybe did my shield just not come out? Oh no, so there, yeah, I'm shielding and it is affecting my max health. Okay. So I thought that the idea was if you see corrupted projectiles, then you shield them, is how you're supposed to play. You know, like parrying the pink shots in Cuphead. But I guess that is not the case. So now I know. I was trying to get a little too fancy with it. Where do I stand on, like, it's all in her head or it's all real? Honestly, with the first game, the story started to escape me a little bit as far as that kind of stuff goes, where it's like... when she was underwater and there's, like, the giant tentacle monster... That's just the blue shots? Hang on a second. No, from corrupted projectiles. I thought Again, I'm learning. I thought corrupted projectiles means yellow ones. But okay, so we've got 1100 dispatch profit. So this probably just means I have to beat the first boss to unlock this node. So until then, let's upgrade proficiency, and then we can do a bunch of stuff here. More max HP. More max HP. I don't use the shield a lot, so I'm not really prioritizing upgrading it, but alright, there we go. Alright.
Got an update for me?
Still chasing that signal. There's a lot in my way.
Sorry to labor the point, but we need this one. I'm worried about Stack and Kayla.
I'll find it.
Let's do one more here. Do I want 5 power or 3 power? Oh, actually, the other one, I think, had another line of text that might have been important. Charging power. Recharging. Man, the artifacts, I wish that they had like a more of a visual to them, you know, like the first one had, to make them easier to recognize. It was more efficient for every artifact carried. All right. But I'll say, as far as like the story of the first one goes, and like, is it real and that kind of stuff, I like to, personally, I always kind of gravitate towards the story being literal, because I just think that that's more interesting. You know, like, certainly there are games where it's done very right, like The Binding of Isaac, for example, I think is a great example of, like, it's all in their head story being done extremely well. But other times it kind of feels less interesting to me than, you know, the story being told actually existing in a world where this stuff is real. It's like, you guys ever see that movie Total Recall? Like, it's funny for Total Recall, because for that movie, it's like the question is, you know, was the movie like this interesting, exciting adventure, or did he just go to the Total Recall place and just get exactly what he paid for? You can capture the blue shots, and it seems like you're supposed to, but optional for yellow as riskier. Yeah. Like, well, yeah, and that's kind of what I've figured out now, is that it's like, if you capture the yellow, they still drop your max HP, which, you know, now I know that that's the risk you take. Man, we've got a lot of max HP now. So I feel like that makes it feel like this one is a lot more based on upgrading your character. Like I was saying, the tagline on the back of the box on this one is "Come Back Stronger," which made me think that it's probably going to have more of an emphasis on upgrading your character between rounds, and that seems to be exactly true. Whoops. Oh, man, that was dumb of me. What if I punch you? Do you get staggered or anything? No. And yo, Winter Mage. Alright. Lost a lot of health on this one already. Bonus. Oh, nice. And then we need a key for that one. Really need to watch Total Recall. Yeah, I only saw it for the first time like a year or so ago. But man, it was like, the whole time I was watching the movie, I was just like, why don't people talk about this movie more? Because, you know, as far as Arnold movies go, everyone talks about Terminator 2 for good reason. And everyone talks about, you know, Predator and maybe a few others, but like,
everyone's on edge.
I feel like people should talk about Total Recall more.
Yeah. Look out for the others. I'm fine.
All right, looking forward to when we unlock more weapons. More weapon types. Okay. And yeah, Kindergarten Cop, you hear about a lot. I haven't seen that one in forever, though. So, by the way, this is only semi-related. This is just good classic movie talk, but I've been wanting to rewatch Rush Hour, but then I remember, like, man, I feel like I rewatched Rush Hour only like maybe a couple years ago. But it's funny because now I want to rewatch it again. Turned 37 this month. I turned 36 later this year. Yo, beef butter. But yeah, Rush Hour, man, it's a classic. And you know what it is? I feel like Rush Hour is like a perfect like, that movie is such a distilled representation of, like, everything that I love about, like, 90s culture, you know? From what I remember. Jackie Chan, and like and just like the celebration of, you know, the mixing of cultures, right? We go this way, and then... So I don't have a key for up there. Yeah, I think we're just going down here. But yeah, and like what I mean by that is that like there's a lot of stuff in movies like that I feel like people are like, oh, that aged poorly and like that kind of thing. But you know, really, I feel like it's more so representation and like fun stuff like that rather than anything that had any ill intent. Okay, so we have max adrenaline, which is good for power level. Blow you up, punch you because you have a shield. Wrong button. Ooh, larger collection radius. You guys know what I'm talking about. I love this kind of stuff, just this very video gamey, just very video gamey level design, putting collectibles floating in the air and stuff. That's another thing that I'm loving about Pragmata, is that I expected Pragmata to be like a linear, just like go through the story kind of game. like all of those other like hero and sidekick walkie-talkie kind of games, right? But no, like you play through like level ass video game levels that that have like collectibles strewn about and lots of like secrets, hidden things, hidden power-ups, you know. It's great. Oh, here, let me shoot you with that. Oh, are there ads? Do we got ads? No? How come he now... I wonder why he now has a stagger meter and he didn't have one before. I guess the reason is that I probably only did one thing. Kills restore integrity! Okay, that's really good. I probably just only did one thing that gave him any stagger, and I need to figure out what that is, what the deal with that is. Willow, Labyrinth, Dark Crystal, Time Bandits, Neverending Story, Ladyhawke. I have never seen a single one of those. That's right, even Neverending Story. I've never seen it. Oh yeah, look at that collection radius. Okay. All right, so we're learning. Here we go. Now it's time to begin the Eclipse. And then that is going to... Oh, wow, and look at the way that, like, it kind of lines up here a little bit. But all right, here we go. So we begin the Eclipse. Now the enemies are going to start shooting corrupted shots at us, I think. Fun, but not as goated as Returnal for you. That's how I feel so far. Fricks. Pretty much exactly. Like, I'm really enjoying this, but I am waiting for it to click the way that Returnal did. For sure. But, you know, I gotta give it the chance, though, because... You know, Returnal also took a little while for you to, like, get all of the different abilities and all of the different weapons and that kind of stuff. Like, I don't have the grappling hook yet, and obviously we're gonna have a grapple later. And that was a big part of what made the movement in that game so fun. Oh! This is interesting. We can just go straight to the boss now. I don't actually have to fight other dudes. What's my proficiency, though? Is it 12? And what's my weapon currently? 10? I mean, we want to go do other stuff so I can get more money, get more upgrade materials, get more proficiency. But yeah, anyone who's never played Returnal, I would highly, highly recommend it. Did that increase my max HP or not? Because it didn't look like it. I may have to pay a little bit more attention to how that mechanic works in this one. You went and looked and it turns out you have it. Nice. Yeah, if you have PlayStation Plus, I'm sure it was like a PlayStation Plus game at some point. And it is out on PC now as well. It's funny, when I first got Returnal, my big like opinion of the game was that it begged for mouse and keyboard. You know, like I was like, man, I wish I could play this game with mouse and keyboard. But at first it was PS5 exclusive, so I just dealt with it and played it with the controller. And then by the end, oh man, I was I did not mind the controller controls at all by the end. I got pretty good at it. And a lot of that comes down to less about like specific aiming, but more about like being able to very quickly check over your shoulder and that kind of thing for like where enemies are and what they're doing. But the more familiar you get with the game, the more you just kind of know what enemies are doing without even looking at them. Ooh, I feel pretty underpowered on these guys. There's a guy behind me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm getting reamed. This or Pragmata so far? So far, Pragmata. I mean, the combat in Pragmata is just so fun. But, I mean, you know. We're kind of at a why not both situation right now, though, because they're very different. Yeah, Pragmata's Capcom. And, like, you can see, like, the little bit of Monster Hunter-iness to it, you know? With, like, the boss designs and stuff. Minus command and drive. Interesting. So we're getting into that kind of stuff here. But yeah, one thing also just that's like big in favor of Pragmata for me is that I just love that style of sci-fi. I do like this as well, the like, I do like alien horror stuff. So like this game's aesthetic definitely appeals to me quite a bit as well. But like the very Death Stranding-y look to Pragmata I think is really excellent. Just like the way that the machines look, the way that the environments look. Alright, here we go. Hopefully we can get a better weapon here soon. Okay, so one thing that I really need to be paying more attention and learning how to do is absorbing shots to get my my like super attack back. But not yellow shots, as we learned last run. All right. And there we go. New weapon, more powerful. See, weaker Aether, but more command. Which I think power is, oh, wait, here we... Okay. I just haven't read the words on the screen yet. Because I was thinking, like, collecting the max... The health has not been increasing my max health. It's because it gives you money instead in this one. Because increasing your resilience is how you increase your max HP in this one. You know? Got it. And yeah, what's the upgrade system in Pragmata like? There's quite a bit, like, that you get, like, the regular upgrade components. Maybe Guy here is already saying this, but, like, the regular upgrade components are, like, your, how much damage your weapon does and its power and that kind of stuff. But then you also use, like, the regular money to upgrade things like all of the different hacking nodes and that kind of thing. And then there's also the other upgrade material that's used for, like, new abilities. So there's a lot to do. That's one thing that, again, I've been really enjoying about the game, is that it's not just like a walkie-talkie linear go through, but rather it's like, oh, we found essentially a Dark Souls bonfire, so we can go back to the shelter. In the shelter, I can use all my different materials to upgrade, like, all these different aspects, you know, and change, like, the way that I want to do my loadout, increase my number of slots, right, and all that kind of stuff, and I'm really enjoying that. Whoop! I think I missed him there. Woo! All right. But yeah, I've been kind of 100%ing everything, because you know what happens is I'm playing it with Mrs. Dash, where she's usually, like, playing something on Steam Deck, and then she looks up every time there's a cutscene, you know? And the thing is, though, like, that only lasts for so long before she falls asleep. So then when she falls asleep, I'm just like, all right. And I go and I just go back to previous maps and start 100%ing, you know, just looking for all the secrets and trying to get 100%. And I again, like, that's what I'm saying I love about the game's level design. Yeah, I don't think I finished what I was saying. The way that the level design is, like, kind of open-ish, and, like, there's a lot of, like, they're not afraid to just have collectible currency in an arc, floating in the air in an arc across a jump that you're supposed to jump. You know what I mean? Very video gamey, and I love that. Yeah, we can take this because again, I never shoot while stationary anyway, so having a corruption that punishes me for doing that won't matter. Let's see. Firing while stationary deals reduced damage. Again, another one? Yeah. Double me up on that. Okay, no keys. Over here, though, we got some money. And then, oh yeah, so that's right. Clearly will be a grapple point in the future. All right, and we are ready to try the boss again just as soon as I get back from the bathroom. Be right back. Oh, okay. Whoa. Need to start using headphones more. I only do when I'm streaming. Okay. Boss time. I'll get him this time. Gonna have more of that. Do reduce damage when at low integrity. Nah, we don't need more power. I never know what to do with power anyway. Let's do it. We can skip it this time. Okay. All right, there we go. We've got him opened up. Oh, I just dodged too late there. Okay, jump that one. And that's like just a move me. Right, yeah. And then jump. Perfect. All right, back to this phase. We'll give him a big shot. Man, it's tough for me not to dodge too late on that one. Like, my depth perception on those projectiles is really bad. All right. Phase 1 down. Oh, okay. And then do those do something? Yes. Ah, man, the sticky ground is driving me a little crazy. Okay, did I get everything? Yes. Okay, so that time I dodged too early. That's not too bad, though. Why did I jump? And then I just used my, Okay, we gotta take... Oh, man. The sticky ground, man, it's so hard to deal with. Okay, we have a whole third phase to deal with now. What happened? Okay. Okay, so he closed me in there and then I didn't know what I was doing. Oh, right. We have the second chance though. Yeah. I forgot about this. Nice. Okay. I forgot about the second chance. Woo. All right, we got him.
Think I found another tunnel system. A bunch of roots just withered away.
Ran into something unpleasant. But I'm on my way down now.
Those give the increased max. And so, man, is that, like... Now I'm not sure if that's permanent or not. Like, permanent.
Spatial distortion detected. Tracing readings from passage.
Ooh, here we go. Area change.
Jay, the path ahead is blocked, but I found a way back to the passage.
The tunnel I found is clear. I'll check it out.
I'll catch up with you. See you down there.
Okay. So now we get to go back without having died. So I get to keep all my money?
Explain your arrival, Enforcer Devraj. Your report. Now.
I found something in the ruins. It brought me back here.
Thought they were at...
That's all I know.
He was just standing there for so long that it was like I had to tell him. Like I don't know what to tell you. I beat the boss.
Interface. Teleportation. This technology is now Soltari property. A bonus has been allocated for your discovery.
Oh, I don't give a damn about the bonus, Primary. I need to get back out there.
Then we are aligned, Enforcer Devraj. I have linked our cartography to the ancient network. Access the device and follow the path you opened.
Bro, there has to be a setting for the 30 FPS cutscenes. Can I turn that off? Oh, hey, look at this. You can change. Oh, it even I like that it shows that in there. So you've got all these accessibility options of being able to change the color of all these things. But I can't make the cutscenes 60 FPS? That goes against my problem of it constantly switching between 60 and 30, hurting my eyeballs. Where's my representation? On a scale of 1 to 10, with a 75 game backlog and not having finished Resident Evil Requiem, how much is this game worth dropping everything and buying it now to play on a PS5 Pro? On a scale of 1 to 10, I don't know. What I would just say is watch some gameplay and decide for yourself, of course. For me, being in the middle right now of Chained Echoes and Pragmata, am I gonna drop everything to play this? No. But I'll probably I'll probably jam a run or two of this game, you know, a day. Oh, and Slay the Spire too, right? The thing is, right now we are drowning in good games. And so, do you need to drop everything? I wouldn't say so. But hey, if you watch a bit of the gameplay and you're like, damn, I need to play that right now, well then you better play it right now. Okay. You know what always gets people excited? Skill trees. All right, let's go. So what do we got here? So now we can get this, right? Because we defeated Prophet. Ooh, yeah. And so that's +1 for every proficiency level, which we're maxed out on. Right? So did that not just increase my resilience, command, and drive a whole bunch? Or maybe this is like always. Maybe this is just always the case now. But okay. More resilience. We'll take resilience. We'll take shield since I have to. And then what do we got here? Start each cycle with an extra redraw item. Well, I definitely want proficiency. And then what do we got here? Drive attribute enhancers become more effective. Wait a second. Back here, wasn't there something where it's like we need to unlock the ability for enemies to drop enhancers? Yes. So we have this one already. We want this one as well. Yeah, I definitely want this. And so we might as well just take this one as well. And there we go. We've got, boom. With that, we've got the first part of the tree maxed out now, which feels good. Okay. And then how much Halcyon do I have right now? 4? Ooh, and you can't look too far out on the skill tree from where you are. Max power. Adrenaline levels increase faster. Ooh, I love that. Okay, so and then this is start cycle with a key. That's kind of sweet too. Otherwise, we're going up here into I don't know what that stuff is territory. I mean, let's unlock this, and now we can read what's up. Yeah. Now that's pretty cool. Now like the fog has expanded, and we can actually read what these are up here. I don't know what redraw items are yet. Okay, but looking at these, I'm mostly interested in what's over here. So, resilience, command, increases power weapon usage. Oh, like, So command does both of those things. And increases leucinite gain to allow faster. Okay. So this is like all 3 get upgraded. That's pretty great. They're pretty expensive though, upgrades, but we're working towards this. Adrenaline levels increase faster. Okay, and then what's this? World dial. Ah, is this like choosing where I'm going to start my next run? So, oh, and we can see, I'm covering them up a little bit, but we got numbers. So in Shattered Rise, I still have 7 more audio logs and 1 more text log to find. But I have found all the Halcyon already. But I mean, hey, you know, you want the logs because you never know what kind of bonus you get for getting all of them. Interesting. All right. Pretty cool. So now I want to... Okay, open primary. What is this now? Oh, this is the skill tree. So that's just what we do while we're here. Gotcha. All right, all right. So yeah, so far what I would say is I'm glad that the game is... I'm glad that they're doing different things from Returnal, right? I like when a sequel is like... It feels like a... that they've expanded upon the ideas, you know? So I like that. So far though, I do like Returnal a little bit more so far. We'll see how I feel about this one as I get into it a little bit more. But there we go. Played through the intro, beat the first boss, did some skill tree stuff, and I think that is I think that's gonna do it for me today. Anything else? Anything else we need to talk about? I don't think so. I think we're good. But yeah, what did you guys think as far as it goes? It's got a lot to compete with, you know, because dude, Pragmata is so good. Like I'm very into that game, and so I'm definitely gonna be focusing on that one. Except the thing is though, like I was saying, that's a game that I play with Mrs. Dash, so. Maybe when Mrs. Dash falls asleep, I'm either playing Chained Echoes, or maybe I'll start swapping to this game if I feel like it. But man, Chained Echoes is really good. I'm really enjoying that one so far. But yeah, you know, it's gonna depend on whether I want RPG or action, right? But yeah. All right. Game's great so far, though, so I'm happy about that. You know, it's definitely not a disappointment. I'm quite happy with it so far. So, all right. Next time I stream, we will probably maybe do another run verification. We've got a couple no slots runs to look through. And alright. Play the game that you're in the mood for at the time. One day RPG, next puzzle game. Yeah, exactly. So this will be a very good, like, I need action game to get into. Alright. So YouTube, we'll see you later. And then on Twitch, we'll go raid somebody. So, bye YouTube. Thanks for watching. And then those of you on Twitch, stick around and we will we'll find someone to raid here.